Howdy everyone. So I just thought I'd do a few quick little vlogs this month, nothing too dramatic, just maybe a few minutes each every few days or so on this little kind of diet experiment I'm doing this month. I call it a diet experiment specifically instead of a weight loss experiment because honestly I've never done it before. I don't know if I'll lose weight doing it or not. But anyway, it's called the 30-day Carnivore Challenge, and I read about it on a blog that I'll link down below, and I just thought, I kind of enjoy this weird sort of science experiment using yourself as the guinea pig sort of thing, so I thought it sounded interesting, so I just thought I'd give it a try this month, just do a few quick little vlogs about it. So basically, the gist of it is this. You're only allowed for the duration of the challenge to eat animal products, namely chicken, beef, pork, eggs are allowed. Fish would technically be allowed, but I don't like fish in any instance, so I'm not going to be eating that. And butter is also apparently technically allowed because it's not so much a dairy as it is a fat, but more proper dairy is not allowed. Milk, cheese, along with, of course, all carbs. So this does fall into the category of keto diet. Not all keto diets are a carnivore diet. It's one of those square rectangle situations, but so no carbs, no bread, pasta, cereal, chips, crackers, etc. So yeah, I will have to forego my Cheez-It addiction for a few weeks at least, for a month or so, unless I decide to go longer. But yeah, so none of that. No fruits, no vegetables, no milk, no cheese, no fried food, no sugar, of course. That kind of the bedrock of any real successful diet there, I would say. But yeah, so some people who swear by the carnivore diet, either as a limited challenge as I'm doing or kind of as a full-on lifestyle, will also be super intense with it and go, no seasoning on your meat. I am going to use a seasoning this month. I'm going to use, rosemary, thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, hot sauce, anything 0 calorie, just because, don't want to go insane, obviously. I mean, you can cook stuff in butter, so that, that does add a little flavor. But yeah, I'm not going so hardcore to cut out seasoning. And I'm also going to still drink coffee and diet soda because I don't think that knocks you out of ketosis. Because I've done the keto diet before. Last year I did another experiment with it. I went a little further than 30 days. I did about 6 weeks, I want to say, maybe 7 weeks, and yeah, and it was pretty successful. I dropped like 20 pounds. When I went off of it and started eating carbs again. I started, of course, with a box of Cheez-Its, as I think I probably would again this time whenever I get back to it. But yeah, I put some back on. But it was pretty interesting that people ask. People online will say, "Is the keto diet a fad diet?" And I would say yes, in the sense that it's very difficult to maintain, for a lifetime. When you think about all the stuff that has carbs in it. Hell, I look at my pack of gum. I look in the back, a stick of gum has 1 carb in it. But, also stuff like, even some fruits and vegetables like apples and stuff like that have some carbs. So I don't really see a keto as something that's can realistically be sustained, for a lifetime. So in that sense, I could agree that it maybe falls under the fad diet category. But at the same time, does it work? Does it get weight off you? Fuck yes. I lost quite a bit on the keto diet, like very quickly, without any particular, acceleration of any kind of workout plan. Just, a few walks, lifting a few weights. I'm going to say a few weights. I do mean that. I, don't lift weights more than any, 15 minutes a day. I'm not particularly hardcore about that one at all. But so anyway, I guess I'm doing a keto diet again, but this time it's even more extreme because even when I was doing the keto diet last year, I would still have a little cheese. I'd put some Greek yogurt on stuff. I would have apples and strawberries, and a lettuce, kind of a little salad. But now I'm not even doing that. It's just those meat products, chicken, fish. When I say fish, I'm not gonna eat any fish, but chicken, steak, pork, eggs, etc. Now, rule number 2, and this is the other interesting thing about this carnivore diet, which is why I say I'm not sure if I'll lose any weight on it or not. Maybe won't lose a thing, but on the carnivore diet, you are allowed to eat whenever you want in whatever quantity you want until you're satiated, until you're full, as long as you stay within the allowed food group. I was about to say groups, but really it's just group, just meat. So yeah, if you're hungry, eat what you like, eat as much as you like. You don't have to weigh it out. You don't have to do anything like that. Just Eat meat in the morning and eggs. Eat it in the lunch, eat it in the afternoon, eat in the evening, whenever you want. Because the idea is that without eating carbs and sugar, supposedly it's pretty difficult to overeat your daily energy expenditure, which I think is true because, like I said, I did do the keto diet before and I dropped a decent amount of weight, more than could just be attributed to water weight. So we're gonna try that again this month, even more extreme, see how it goes. These quick little vlogs are probably more for me than anyone else. Don't think it's something to be of huge interest to most, but I just kind of want to document the process. I guess I should kind of do a little before photo in case any weight loss does occur. Here's me as of, I'm recording this on day 2 of the carnivore diet, the 30-day carnivore challenge, June 2nd. I started yesterday on June 1st. Here is a picture of me on June 1st. At 158 pounds. So we'll see if I drop anything by the end of the month. I'll do it after a photo as well. I won't do a photo every time I do a vlog. I'll just do one at the end on June 30th or maybe July 1st and document how it looks then. But currently, let's see. So what have I had to eat so far? Yesterday I had gosh, let me think. I had some chicken in the middle of the day. I had kind of done a little sugar carb binge on the last day of May. So, I wasn't hungry yesterday morning. So I had some chicken for lunch yesterday. Then dinner, maybe I'll put this as the thumbnail of this video. I had some chicken, some steak, leftover steak. It wasn't that great if I'm being honest, but the chicken was pretty good. And some fried eggs cooked in some butter. And today so far I had 4 scrambled eggs for breakfast, again cooked in butter, and I just tore little pieces of cold chicken off of rotisserie chicken and ate them a little while ago. Now, according to the according to the blog with a B, I linked down below, if you just eat too much chicken, you'll kind of become physically exhausted over time on the carnivore diet because it doesn't have enough fat content compared to steak and some other meats like bacon and sausage and stuff, which your body will need for energy, not having the carbs in it. And speaking of lack of energy, I already feel like I'm in the early stages of the keto flu, it's called. That's when, and I didn't make up that term, but I have experienced it before. And that's basically the colloquialism for when you don't have carbs in your body, bread, pasta, cereal, chips, crackers, stuff that most people have every day, tortillas here in New Mexico where I am. Then so once your body, which usually uses those for energy, kind of burns through the carbs you got after a couple days, you'll start to feel weird as your body says, hey, where's the energy source I've been using basically your whole life? This isn't right. And yeah, I'm currently kind of undergoing that. It's kind of a weak feeling, a little bit of a light kind of dizziness and nausea, while your body kind of rewires itself to start using fat as your energy source. It takes between day 2 and day 4 or 5 or so. So I'm in for a little bit of a crappy time in a couple days, around Thursday or so. But right now I feel okay. Apparently it helps a lot if you eat stuff with fat in it. So I'll probably try to maybe do some steak, cook it in butter again this evening. But yeah, but it's going good for day 2 of it. Not having any trouble so far. Like I said, the last couple days of May, I kind of binge ate some ice cream and pasta and Cheez-It crackers and that kind of stuff to get all the sugar and carbs out of my system. So, hello, kitty cat. Oh, kitty. Oh. So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to do maybe every 3 days or so, every 3-4 days, do a little vlog, kind of say how it's going, see if I lose any weight, see if I feel. Apparently, once you get past the keto flu stage on the carnivore diet, you have a real good energy level. You feel real good. You feel real clean. You feel really, you feel sharp. Supposedly it helps your sleeping habits. Even people say you get a little stronger. I don't know, but maybe it's all bullshit. Like I said, I've never tried anything like this before. I tried the keto diet before, which is kind of like this, but there's quite a bit more restricted even from that. So I'll check in. I'll definitely do it for the 30 days, and if it turns out it doesn't accomplish anything, then I will report that at the end of the month or the beginning of July. But hopefully it will. But it'll be interesting to try out. So just shoot off a few quick little vlogs on it. now and then, a couple times a week, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's about all. Peace out, everyone. So I've been at this carnivore diet for almost exactly a week now. I'm recording this a little after midnight on June the 8th, and I started officially at midnight on June the 1st, so a week and a couple hours officially. So yeah, so and I have not cheated in any way on the diet. I've been extremely rigorous about it. I have not eaten a carb, a bite of any form of bread or grain or pasta product, a single bite of any fruit or vegetable, any sugar, anything like that, any milk or cheese. For the last week, I've been super rigorous. I've only had chicken, ham, pork, bacon, sausage, steak, beef, eggs, boiled, fried, scrambled, any form of butter. And like I said, by some people's standards, I'm not doing the official hardcore carnivore diet, as I am still using seasoning, namely garlic powder, onion powder, rosemary, hot sauce, salt, pepper, 0 calorie stuff, and I'm still drinking coffee and diet soda. So there are some adherents to the ultimate philosophy of the carnivore diet who would say that I'm not adhering to it, but I basically would say that, yeah, I am. And so, cutting to the main headline first off, the weight loss has been rapid and pretty noteworthy. I just hopped on the scale a minute ago. I was at 158 pounds on June 1st. Just hopped on now. Now I'm at 149 pounds. So the scale says I've lost 9 pounds in the last week. Now, I don't claim any kind of a doctorate in the subject, but I know enough about biology to know that that doesn't mean that I've lost 9 pounds of fat in 1 week. No, that would be a deficit of 32,000 calories, which no, I obviously haven't created in 1 week with my light walks and eating only meat. But what I do understand is that when you go on the keto diet, which the carnivore diet is kind of a subset of, I guess, or kind of a version of, you drop a lot of water weight pretty quick. So I assume that's mostly what that is, although there could be a pound or two of actual fat in there too. Who knows? But yeah, it's going pretty well so far. Obviously a certain degree of a food monotony does set in. I'll admit some days I try to, make kind of a nice, well-seasoned, well-cooked plate of meat, of steak and chicken and eggs and whatnot. But both tonight and last night for dinner, I'll just straight up admit, I just pulled open the Costco rotisserie chicken, just pulled the plastic lid off it, and just sat there at my kitchen counter just tearing off and eating cold chunks until I felt like I had had enough, and then closed it and put it back into the fridge. It sounds mildly sad, and maybe it is, but hey, there was no particularly quick cooking or eating process. My dinner, as it were, took about 3 minutes, so it's a little bit of a time saver. Opens up a little more time for worthy pursuits such as video games and browsing the internet endlessly. But while I will kind of grant a certain amount of food monotony, I haven't struggled really with not cheating on anything. Sugar stuff I haven't really been tempted by at all. I found this kind of the last time about what would it be now? Gosh, 9 months. How time flies. About 9 months ago when I went on the keto diet, it wasn't so much the sugar I missed, more it was kind of I started missing really kind of eyeballing like pasta and Cheez-Its and bread products after a while, and I can already sense my mind kind of vaguely going back in that direction a little bit, but I haven't had any trouble sticking to it so far. But talk to me in 2 weeks. I guess that's kind of the difference again. I don't have a fucking PhD in how the body works or how the brain or how food science works, for what it's worth. So this isn't quite on, but I feel like sugar dependency is almost more of a true kind of chemical addiction, which is why once you've weaned yourself off it for even as little as a few days, you're able to mentally kind of move on and not dwell on it too much. Whereas carbs really are a pretty major group of macronutrients. It's not just pure junk like sugar. The carbs are real food. They are a real energy source. There's no denying that. So it's a little harder to just kind of break the conditioning on them, the same way you would with sugar. So But yeah, getting aside from food, because there's nothing that elaborate to talk about the fact that, yep, I eat only meat and eggs. Oh, and butter. I do, you're allowed to have butter as kind of a fat source. So I have been cooking stuff in butter. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I've stuck to it. It's fine. It's how it makes me feel. That's kind of the interesting thing to dwell on. Now, I am past the so-called keto flu stage, when you have kind of a weird, kind of loopy, fuzzy-headed, slightly weak feeling as your body goes into the process of ketosis, as you lack carbs in your system. I've been past that for, 2-3 days now. Made it through no problem, feeling good now. It's interesting. When you're eating only meat, you find that hunger and fullness both at the same time are kind of less powerful than they used to be, less definitive. Maybe that's, I should say, when I talk about hunger there, maybe I'm mixing that up a little bit with food cravings, because let's be honest, 90% of the time in modern day culture, when anyone says they're hungry, what they really mean is I have a food craving. But detaching it from that and talking about real, like I haven't eaten in many hours and I've been physically active hunger, I would say that on the carnivore diet, once you've gotten well into it, like a week or so in, like I am, it's how can I put this in a way that makes sense? The hunger is almost less of an emotional feeling and more like a gauge going off, like I require fuel now, refuel me. And then when you stop eating, it's the stomach stuffed feeling that you might normally associate with being done eating no longer really exists either. You're just either in a state of I require fuel or I'm fueled. It's I don't know, I can certainly see the way some people might find that unsatisfying. That I'm not holding myself above people like that either. I at the same time definitely, you can miss the feeling of eating a shitload of pasta and being like, ooh, I'm stuffed. And no, you're not ever going to get that on the carnivore diet. You can eat a shitload of ribs and chicken and eggs and steak, as I did the other few nights ago. And even you're done eating. You're like, you don't want to eat anymore. You're full per se, but you're not stuffed in the same way that you'd be used to beforehand. But energy levels feeling pretty good. I felt like crap yesterday, but I don't think that was so much a diet thing as getting 90 minutes of sleep before a full day of work thing. So yeah, but other than that, right now I feel pretty bouncy, and it's 2 a.m. Again, maybe that's more a screwed up sleep schedule than a diet thing. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty all right, and I can feel physically lighter. Like I said, I don't think I've lost 9 pounds of actual pure fat by any means, but that's a pretty big change on the scale to see in 7 days, no matter how you cut it. So yeah, it's going pretty good so far. Well, I'll check back in a few days, 3, 4, 5 days. Maybe I'll be missing them carbs even more poignantly then. But for now, I'd say, it's feeling the adjustment in how your hunger cues work is probably the weirdest part for me, more so than the food monotony, which is admittedly a little bit of a, it's an issue. I won't be like a robot and pretend it's not. But the change in kind of your general gut feeling as regards food once you're in ketosis, it's an interesting thing. Now at this point, I'm not sure I'd say it's a markedly different between just the keto diet like I've done before and the true carnivore diet like now, but yeah, we'll check back in soon enough, see how it looks then. But yeah, it's going good so far. I've stuck to it rigorously, and I'm dropping a little weight, so we'll see how it continues to go. All right, that's it for this carnivore diet check-in, day 8 out of 30. All right, later everyone. So I'm on day 11 now of my 30-day carnivore challenge, and at least according to the scale, it seems to be going pretty well. I just stepped on a little while earlier today. It had me at 148 pounds, which I started 11 days ago at 158 pounds. Now, as I addressed in my last little vlog on this, I'm, not ignorant or naive or hopeful enough to believe that that means I've actually lost 10 pounds of, excess fat in 11 days. I don't believe such a thing is easily possible unless you want to spend 8 hours a day on the treadmill. But I dropped some water weight. What I do believe, hopefully is that means I have lost 2 pounds of fat in the, I believe 3 days. I believe I last did a vlog on this on the day 8 of the Carnivore Challenge, so day 11 now, so 2 pounds, 3 days. Yeah, that's a rate that I'm pretty happy with, and that I can actually believe is, actual fat loss, because I have been doing, a bit of exercise. I went on a hike this morning, actually, morning for a lazy person, because on my day off I get up at 11 o'clock in the morning, so hike about noon counts as morning for me. So I was feeling a little low energy for some of the hike, though I had a bit of trouble, and I think that might have been because when you're on the carnivore diet, your energy kind of comes from eating fat rather than carbs, and I don't think I probably had enough fat, to be honest, in the last day before my hike. I eat too much chicken. A lot of writing or videos and whatnot on the Carnivore Challenge say, like, eat steak, eat bacon, eat pork, eat sausage, don't just eat chicken, because chicken's fat content isn't high enough to give you the energy I need. But it's just, I'm so lazy, and it's so easy to just open take the plastic off of the Costco rotisserie chicken and just tear little cold pieces off of it and put them in my mouth. It's very easy, although I admit I did do a little more for dinner tonight. I had a couple of burger patties and just cooked them up real quick, grilled them up real good, nice and rare. I like my meat to show at the fire level rare, and so that was good. Mix it up a little, have a little bit of hamburger, and I've been doing a lot of scrambled eggs in the morning. I've been you're allowed to do a lot of butter on the Carnivore Challenge because it's more fat content than dairy content, so I've been loading up these scrambled eggs with a lot of butter, kind of cooking them nice and slow. It's real thick, almost more like a custard than what you would think of as like traditional scrambled eggs, but it's a pretty good breakfast. 4 or 5 scrambled eggs. I haven't quite hit Gaston levels of 5 dozen eggs in the morning to help me get large, but we'll see if I work my way up there. I'm currently wearing a size small Save Ferris 86 t-shirt that I bought when I was a somewhat younger and somewhat thinner man, and once my weight kind of drifted back up into the 150 territory, the size small t-shirt got extraordinarily tight and uncomfortable. So I just thought I'd pull it out just to see how it. Admittedly, it's still a little more on the tight side than what I would want to wear, kind of going about my business around town. It's definitely pretty taut against my chest. I feel like a big-titted girl in that way at the moment. Nice tight clothing against my chest, but I do fit into it now, which at a certain point I didn't. So that's nice. I can kind of fit into a size small t-shirt. Probably gotta get down a little bit lower to comfortably wear a size small t-shirt through the day, but there's kind of an awkward in-between phase where the small's too tight and the medium's too baggy, and I'm kind of hovering in that area at about 148. So staying off of fruits and vegetables hasn't been too hard. I mean, I'm not someone who's too picky about eating them. Well, I take that back. I am, to this day in my mid-30s, a little picky about some vegetables. I'm not much of an asparagus guy or a green bean guy, but I do actually like just good old-fashioned lettuce. I like making chicken salads just kind of as a lazy dinner for now, but I'm not having too much trouble with that. So far, I've managed to stay off of fantasizing about carbs too much, and I do feel like I've broken the sugar addiction. I'm past the kind of sugar detox phase, and it's something that's worth addressing, and I believe I probably mentioned this in both of the previous videos on this diet, but I'll discuss it again, is breaking addiction to sugar and getting off carbs. They can both help you lose weight, they can both help you get in shape, but they're kind of fundamentally different things, because carbs they're real food, people in the first world, here in America, anywhere else, they do overeat them. I overeat them when I'm not, on some specific keto diet. I eat too many Cheez-Its, I eat too much pasta. I used to eat too much breakfast cereal, but I stopped because it was making me overweight, so I used to eat breakfast cereal every morning, basically 363 days a year for, over a decade, basically. But I finally kind of broke that habit last year, because it was just having a giant bowl of carbs and dairy every morning was just too much of an impediment to getting in any kind of good shape. So, but anyway, I kind of went off track a little bit there. So carbs are real food. Real people who are in great shape eat them. You know, marathon runners will carb overload before a race. They do provide energy in times, you know, before today when people would plow the farm all day. It was important to eat their, bowl of porridge because carbs are real food. As such, you can't really break an addiction to them. I found this last year when I was doing the keto diet for a while. Even after about 2 months, I would still be, fantasizing about just eating a giant goddamn ass bowl of mac and cheese. That urge never really goes away. That's why I think that a keto diet probably not sustainable, across the whole life, but it can be used to lose weight. Sugar is an entirely different story. Sugar is not real food. I mean, there is sugar content in real foods such as fruit, but added processed sugar that we have in cake, donuts, ice cream, cookies, candy, and so on, that's not food. It's just a very mild poison that tastes good and makes us fat. So being off of sugar is a good thing. It just objectively is. I'm not saying that to be elitist over people who enjoy sugar, because if you've looked through some of the mukbang videos on my various channels, you can see me eating an entire half gallon of Bluebell ice cream in one sitting, and I love every bite of it. Well, until I get too full and start to feel like I'm gonna vomit, but besides that, I love every bite of it. So, it's better to not eat sugar. It just is. That's just a basic fact of human biology. It truly is. And once you've broken the addiction to it, you just try to stay off it as long as you can. It really is better for you. And so I haven't had a bite of any kind of sugar, not even fruit, because fruit isn't in the carnivore diet for 11 days now, I guess. And yeah, I'm honestly doing pretty good there. If the fantasy of carbs sometimes sneaks in, especially when I'm eating just like a big, like tonight they had those burger patties, and wouldn't a burger bun be nice? But staying off sugar, I'm doing pretty goddamn okay, actually. There is a certain degree of food monotony, but I try to mix it up a little. Been doing more bacon lately. My wife will sometimes make some bacon in the morning, which I appreciate if we're up at the same time, which sometimes we aren't. But yeah, and I tried those. I have more uncooked burger patties ready to go, so I think maybe tomorrow night I'll cook up a couple more, but try to put fried eggs on top of them or something like that. Just little fun ideas to mix it up. Maybe try to do some chicken spice, kind of more of an Asian style. I don't know. But yeah, it would probably help if I liked fish, because there's a lot of different kinds of fish, and that would be a good way to kind of mix up your carnivore diet a little bit. But I don't, so it's pretty much just chicken, cow, and pork for me. Oh, and eggs, of course. But yeah, I'm doing okay for now. I'll reevaluate whether I want to continue with this. So I know I said 30-day challenge, but if it works really well, I don't know, and get to the 1st of July, maybe I'll make it a 60-day challenge. I don't know, but so far, 11 days in, the weight loss has definitely, it's showing up on the scale and on my body. I can fit in this shirt. It says 148. It said 158 11 days ago. Some of that might be water weight that would come back quickly if I even ate a little bit of carbs again. I don't know, but I'll keep at it until I guess I'll do the next check-in on the 15th, because that'll be dead set on the middle of the 30-day challenge, and we'll see if some more weights come off by then. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll be back up to 155, and I'll be like, this is a failure. But yeah, going okay so far. TMI time. There's very, very long periods of multiple days between bowel movements on this diet. I think I heard that somewhere before, but I didn't take it seriously. But now, having done it myself, it's true. They come slowly. They come slowly. Yeah, the plumbing is a little wacky. I'll say that much. Sure, you didn't want to know that, but it is what it is. No point in doing a vlog about the carnivore diet if I don't go into the details of the carnivore diet. But yeah, so far I haven't. I wouldn't lie and say I've never been tempted by anything, but I have not cheated. I have not taken a bite of any carb, fruit, vegetables, sugar, fried food, etc., etc. So doing all right in that respect. think I can keep going for a while. Yeah, I'd say I can go another 19 days at it, and we'll see if more weight comes off. Maybe it'll come off my muscles, and I'll just be a weak little skeleton man. But yeah, so far, I'll give the experience a thumbs up. Yeah, check in again real soon. Peace out, everyone. Fair warning in advance, this vlog is going to largely center around discussion of gastrointestinal issues of various sorts relating to diet. If you find such matters repulsive, no judgment. I think probably a lot of people do. You can, click on ahead to the next thing. Maybe if you're watching this later on, I'll try to make the next carnivore diet vlog a little less graphic. But as such, I do feel I need to document things here. So, fair warning there. I've been at the carnivore diet now. I'm recording this on this day because I am now halfway through the 30-day carnivore challenge. It is June 16th. I have made it through 15 complete 24-hour cycles on this particular diet. Have not cheated once in any way, according to the way I'm doing it anyway. I have not had a single bite in the last 15 days of any kind of carbs, any bread, any pasta, any chips, any cereal, any crackers, anything like that, any rice, any noodles, any potatoes. Haven't had a single bite of any fruits or vegetables. Haven't consumed a single gram of sugar. Haven't eaten anything fried, no alcohol, no milk, no cheese. All I have eaten in the last 2 weeks and 1 day is rotisserie chicken, mostly the ones from Sam's Club, which I think are supplied by the same as the ones who do Costco, if you're wondering. Those big old Mamba Jamba 5-pound chickens. I've had those. Chicken breast that I cooked, raw chicken breast. A bit of steak, not too much because usually I'm too lazy to make it, but a bit of ham, sausage, bacon, lots of eggs, mostly scrambled, some fried, some boiled. I believe that, and burger patties, just the patty, nothing on them, just that patty. Nope, I lied, I did put fried eggs on them at one point, which is a pretty good combination actually. So in that I have been extremely rigorous and vigilant. I have not cheated in any way in the last 15 days, except for there are some people so hardcore they say that seasoning and hot sauce and diet soda is cheating. I say no, and I have had that, but other than that, yep, I've been hardcore carno for 15 days now, one half of the way through the 30-day challenge. Food-wise, hasn't been that hard for me, really. Really, I think that getting off sugar is very beneficial, and I'm glad that I've done it. I think the effect on, health and stuff has been good for, not eating sugar. Do I miss Cheez-Its? Yeah, sure, I certainly will. Really, anytime I'm not eating Cheez-Its, I miss them. But I don't know, if I'm being totally honest with y'all, I think I'm developing a little bit of a mixed opinion on this whole carnivore diet, and I'll go into why. And it's a filthy matter. So again, hop out if you aren't so into such things. But well, I mean, the weight loss has kind of slowed. I lasted a vlog 5 days ago on day 11, I believe. And this is day 16, and I've lost 1 pound since then, down from 148 to 147, which that's relatively insignificant. I lost more than that last fall when I was just doing keto, plain old keto with veggies and fruits and cheese and milk. I think I outdid that pretty much any 5-day gap. So as far as weight loss goes, it's not the most effective thing I've ever done. So, it is down. It's not gaining anything, but, nothing mind-blowing there. But the rate of weight loss isn't why I'm developing a bit of a mixed opinion, nor is the food monotony, which does exist, but, lots of people, any movie star and any guy movie star anyway, in any movie you've ever loved where he's super buff has eaten a outrageously monotonous diet for months, if not years, to get in shape of that. So I'm not going to be like, oh, woe is me. Monotonous diet, it's so terrible. It is what it is, whatever. But the one thing I will say is that gastrointestinally, if that's the right term, the carnivore diet hasn't been a very positive thing for me. I'll just go right into it. My rate of shitting is down to about once a week. In fact, just this morning, I managed to finally get a little something out. I believe for the first time since Tuesday of last week. Could have been Wednesday. Maybe my memory's playing little tricks on me, but it was either 6 or 7 days. And you might think that then it should be a nice little, nice torpedo. It should be a real solid thing. Nope, it it was a slushy, disgusting, stinky affair. It was not a clean or good bowel movement this morning. Nope, it was pretty gross. It was had to take a shower after. I'll put it that way. It was definitely showering time after. So I don't know. I was originally thinking about maybe going into month 2 of the carnivore diet, but I gotta be honest, I'm leaning against it now. Not because I can't stick to just eating chicken and pork and beef and shit. I can do that. It's not the end of the world to me personally, but just because I felt like I had a horrible lump in my lower guts, my right in here for the last couple days, and it was a heavy, gross, sluggish sort of feeling. So I don't know. A lot of what people have talked about with the carnivore diet is it's supposed to give you a lot more energy, and I felt that for a while. I think I talked about it in the last couple of vlogs, but yeah, the last little bit I'm not doing as good. I mean, I'll still do the 30-day challenge because I'm halfway through. Might as well finish, just say I did it, get that notch on my belt. But yeah, I don't know. Unless things turn around the next few days, I think I'm gonna give this carnivore diet maybe a kind of a mixed review. But that's okay, because that's kind of what scientific experiment is sort of about to a certain extent, isn't it? You don't always know that you're going to get a positive result or what you want. It's just worth it to learn. And I have learned certain things, like I just talked about with the gastrointestinal issues. There are certain urban legends about the human body that people incorrectly believe. I'm not even casting that as an aspersion on everyone else. I'm sure I've made the same mistake at points. You hear shit, you don't know what's true and what's not, But one thing, you always hear is that, it's fiber and grains that make the old plumbing work properly. And, I never quite knew if that was true, or is that just another kind of bullshit thing that people say. Especially these days, you got a lot of, body posy movement, all kinds of horse shit that has no more basis than in reality than unicorns and leprechauns coming out of that end of things. But having done this carnivore diet for half a month now and personally felt the impact on me, I think I can indeed confirm that yes, fiber does indeed play an important role in making the plumbing run properly. I now feel that I can say, yes, the people who have told you that, wherever you've heard that, read that, they're telling the truth. They're correct. That is the case. And when you eat nothing but meat and eggs, I guess, things get a little stopped up and a little weird and a little heavy in the gut. So, I don't know. So, like I said, I will continue to go for this carnivore diet for another 15 days. I mean, if my rate of weight loss is as slow as it's been the last 5 days, 1 pound in 5 days, I wouldn't expect to see much more progress. What would that be? 3 pounds down to 144? 3 pounds for half a month is nothing special weight loss wise. I've done better than that very easily without sticking to any kind of special diet thing. So, so all in all, carnivore diet, I'm not going to say that I'm a little mixed on it. I think it's probably a kind of a flawed system, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there'll be a giant turnaround and I'll feel like $1 million in 3-4 days when I do another. Whoa. Someone's speeding. But yeah, maybe I'll have a total turnaround, feel great when I do another one of these vlogs in a few days. But for now, yeah, I've totally stuck with it. I haven't cheated once in half a month, but things are kind of slowing down and feeling a little weird. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a mixed review this time. So we'll see how things go in a few days. All right, later. Okay, 22 days now at the carnivore diet, and just to reiterate, as I do every time, but I kind of reiterate it for myself and any future event I might look back on this vlog, as much as for anyone who might be watching it. I cheated absolutely 0 times in the last 22 days on the diet. I've had no fruits, no vegetables, no sugar, no carbs, no bread, no pasta, no fried foods, no alcohol, no milk, no cheese. I've completely stuck to the diet as I prescribed it to myself. So in fact, I've even within the parameters of the diet, I haven't been particularly imaginative since I think it's the 22nd now, June 22nd. last did a vlog on this on June 16th, I believe, so 6 days. And I got to admit that within that time, I haven't even been creative within the parameters of the diet. I think about 4 days in a row, I want to say, I consumed no calories except for rotisserie chicken. I mixed things up and made it interesting for myself by, at lunch, I ate the cold rotisserie chicken, torn straight off the bird, and then at dinner, that's when we got the real exotic fine dining going on. I microwaved some rotisserie chicken and ate it that way. So you can see, definitely, I think I'll be getting my offer to be head chef at a 5-star French restaurant any day now. That's not to say that I don't experience a certain level of food monotony, but one thing I will say about the carnivore diet is I feel like I've actually been pretty darn successful at sugar detoxing, because really I find myself, when I think about what am I going to eat when I'm through with all this, I don't find myself fantasizing so much anymore about my kind of previous main food addictions, food vices of Cheez-Its and Bluebell ice cream. I was more kind of really thinking about, that I'm going to like getting back into some fruits and vegetables on the first, because I probably won't continue with this carnivore challenge into July. I was thinking about it, a couple weeks ago, but probably not for the reason I discussed on the last vlog, the extreme irregularity of, extreme irregularity. Won't go too much into it this time, because I think I talked that one pretty good on the last vlog, and I don't want this to be a shit vlog. I mean, it's a shitty vlog, obviously. I mean, we can all see that. I'm on my webcam here. It's nothing about this is a quality product in any way, shape, or form, but I don't want it to be a shit vlog. They say you don't know what you miss until it's gone, and that much is true of being able to perform in the bathroom more frequently than every 3, 4, 5 days. You don't know, you miss it until it's gone. And the only weird thing about my behavior lately has been the carno diet, so I think I can only blame it on that. But, that much is still true from the last vlog I did on this on the 16th. One thing I will say that's been a pretty stark and immediate reversal, and I mean immediate as in basically from the 17th, like the day after I did that vlog on. In my last vlog, I talked about how my weight loss on the carno diet had slowed substantially since the previous one, which I think was maybe the 11th, a few days before that. How I'd only lost about 2 pounds, I think it had been, in about 5 days, so virtually nothing. That is no longer the case. Starting almost immediately after I did that last vlog, the weight started rapidly falling off, and admittedly that's probably because I wasn't eating much even within the parameters of the diet. Like I said, chicken for lunch, chicken for dinner, chicken for lunch, chicken for dinner, chicken for lunch, chicken for dinner, with no real butter seasoning or anything on it, and nothing for breakfast except a cup of coffee with some stevia in it. So I guess it's not surprising, and still getting a good amount of walking in and whatnot. So, but yeah, I think I must have hit some kind of like advanced next level ketosis around the 17th, the 18th, because the weight is now very much falling off. I had weighed in at 148 pounds on the 16th when I did the last one of these vlogs, and now it's 142 pounds, so a pound a day, 6 pounds in 6 days. And I can feel it. It's not one of those things where it's like a phantom weight loss. I can see it when I look down at my ribs, are very prominent to the touch now. Stomach sucked in, clothes looser, pants looser, my shorts that fit my kind of stretchy, gym shorts, workout shorts that fit perfectly well a week ago are now pretty much falling off me. They'll stay on if I have nothing in my pockets, but then when I put my phone and keys in my pockets, that half pound or whatever of weight between those two things together was pulling the shorts off of my rapidly receding waistline towards the ground. So I don't know. I will say that I expect that extreme level of weight loss will probably slow, because last night I felt very lacking in energy, very hungry, so I decided, no, I can't do more chicken tonight. So for dinner last night I had I believe 9 scrambled eggs cooked up with lots of butter. you're allowed to have butter on the carnivore diet, I should mention. So yeah, nine scrambled eggs, buttery ass scrambled eggs, and I did finally use some seasoning, some salt, some pepper, some hot sauce. I like hot sauce and scrambled eggs, just my thing. Hot sauce kind of dude. And yeah, after I had that, I did almost immediately feel better. I felt a little healthier. So I think that not only food monotony isn't just necessarily just a thing in terms of your taste buds, your food cravings. I think at a certain kind of a health level, your body does require mixing up your nutrients a little bit, because as soon as I had that eggs and butter, I felt a lot better. And just a couple hours earlier today, also for lunch, I had a steak and fried eggs. So yeah, I'm trying to work fat back into my diet a little bit, because the chicken, for a couple days I felt pretty darn healthy with it. I felt pretty strong, and I felt the weight loss. I mean, you could feel the weight loss happening in real time, like watching bamboo shoots grow in real time. It's a process. You can't literally watch it happen in seconds, but over hours you can watch the bamboo grow. And yeah, over the hours I felt everything sucking in. So I'm the weight loss slowing that I mentioned when I did the last carnivore diet vlog on the 16th, that is definitely no longer the case. The weight loss has continued. So in a way, maybe I have to slightly revise the kind of mixed review I gave the carnivore diet last time and say that it is pretty effective on that level if you really stick to it like crazy and, do a basic level of exercise. And I do mean pretty basic. I don't, exercise till I'm pouring sweat and heaving breath by any means, because I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to do that. But yeah, it's working for weight loss. Now, on the flip side, I will say that the other issues, the gastrointestinal issues I mentioned, yeah, that's all still a thing, and that's why I probably won't continue with this diet on into next month and so on. This will probably be the only time in my life I ever do this 30-day carnivore challenge. But yeah, and the food monotony, yeah, that's the thing, But like I said before, I can't really complain too much, because there are a lot of people out there who have to maintain high levels of fitness who eat just as monotonously, if not more monotonously than I do. That, or they have to work out for 7 hours a day. And like I previously established, I'm a very lazy person, and I won't do that. I'll do about a 12-minute workout. I'll give you about a 12-minute workout. I'll do that. I'll put in nice 12 minutes every day. Definitely, I think when I hit the first, I'm gonna have a big, beautiful chicken Cobb salad with some nice, cheese in there, and some bacon, some tomatoes, some red onions, a little ranch dressing on top. All the manner of good stuff. I'm really gonna indulge in that. But I guess it's better to indulge in that and some ice cream. I will try to stay off sugar going into July for a while longer, because, yeah, I'm getting into my mid-30s now, and I can't be just binge-eating Bluebell ice cream. Unfortunately, the results of that will show up on my body rapidly. It's just a part of not being a kid anymore, I'm afraid. But, yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit more positive on the carnivore diet than I actually was when I talked this stuff on the 16th, because then I was feeling low, man. I was feeling constipated, I was feeling low energy, I was feeling hungry, all that, and the weight wasn't coming off to any meaningful extent. But yeah, I feel actually a good bit better now. A little less constipated, a little higher energy, less hungry, and the weight is coming off. Yeah, that's not a problem anymore. Maybe it'll slow because I've been eating a little more fat the last 18 hours or so. But yeah, if it continues at anything close to this rate, I should be able to get into the 130s by July 1st, which if you consider I started at 158 22 days ago on June 1st, I mean, would be about 20 pounds down a month. And for starting within, the healthy BMI, that's a pretty rapid loss, considering I haven't done any 24-hour fasts. I haven't starved myself or anything. I've eaten light, I've eaten just like a chicken breast, for dinner and nothing else. So, I'm certainly not eating a great amount, but not starving myself by any means either. And it's working pretty well. Everything's coming off just fine. So if I was to kind of give a review of the carnivore diet at this point, having gone about 2/3 of the way and not completed the 30-day challenge yet, I guess my thoughts now would be It's a bit monotonous, it has its issues, and I think it's probably unsustainable over the long term. And I don't plan at this point in trying to sustain it over the long term. I think I would hate myself. But does it work for losing weight? And the answer to that would have to be a pretty big yes at this point. It really does. And I felt the same way when I did regular keto for about 7 weeks last year. I also lost a pretty darn fair amount of weight in about 40 some odd days. I think it was about 27 pounds in about 41, 42 days. And yeah, I kind of seem to be at a relatively similar pace this time. I haven't pulled out a calculator to do the exact math on it, and can't do the math in my head anymore because yeah, I'm the brain's deteriorating in old age. I'm not as good at math now as I was in high school when I was a teenager. But yeah, yeah, that's I'd say it's. I was pretty mixed last time, but now I'm feeling a little more positive again. I have no concern about making it the next 9 days or whatever, 8 days. As I said, math skills deteriorated to nothing until the end of the 30-day challenge at this point. And yeah, I expect the kind of body profile picture I do on either the 30th or the 1st will appear different than the one I did on the 1st of June at this point. So, yep, that's about how it is now, and catch y'all later. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. So we're here on day 26 of the 30-day carnivore challenge, June 26, 2020. Usual spiel. Haven't cheated once since I recorded my last vlog a few days back. I've actually mixed things up a little more than I had then. I believe I mentioned in my last vlog that all I had eaten since the vlog before that was rotisserie chicken and eggs. Now I've mixed it up just a little more. I still had a rotisserie chicken, I still had eggs, but I did have a nice big hearty couple pound chunk of steak last night. Nice and rare. I like it borderline blue rare. I like it bloody. Just knock the horns off, explain the concept of fire to it, roll it out. That's how I like it. But yeah, so there's no use beating around the bush here. I have a problem with the carnivore diet, and that is that successfully taking a shit becomes a labor of Hercules with this. It becomes your white whale. It becomes something you dream of maybe one day happening, the way you might dream of becoming a millionaire or walking on the moon. This theoretical, abstract concept that maybe you remember once having experienced successfully in your youth, in your younger days, in more innocent times, but has since been lost to you. I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but put bluntly, what did I do my last Carno vlog on the 22nd? Haven't taken a shit since then, that's for sure. Since well before then. I think it's been about 6 days now, and yeah, I'll just say last time I talked about how my weight loss was going so good, or at least that was going real good. No, I'm up 2 pounds from the 22nd. Now I'm the 26th. I was 142 pounds then. Just stepped on the scale, now up to a good 144. Now, granted, yes, that is still down pretty considerably from the 158 I was at 26 days ago. So I'm not saying like, oh, the carnivore diet doesn't work at all to lose weight. Yeah, I weigh less than I did a few weeks back, but it definitely also has its downsides. Now, of course, I googled all this, and a lot of websites said it's normal to feel a bit of this particular issue on the carnivore diet. You're not constipated, it's just your body using the meat you've consumed more efficiently. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's true. I don't argue with the experts or whatever, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, I think I can feel all that fucking meat in my gut. I think I can feel the probably 5 or 6 pounds of chicken and a couple pounds of steak and 20 or so eggs that I've consumed since I last rode the porcelain throne. You know what I'm saying? I think it's in there. Yeah, when I try to do any sort of cardio, I feel kind of like, So, I don't know, man. I'll focus on some some good things about the carnivore diet. I feel that I've been very successful in detoxing and sugar. I have no intention of, when I get to the first and end the 30-day carnivore challenge, of going out and buying a bunch of fucking like Bluebell and candy bars and donuts and shit and eating all that and, you know, ruining my sugar detox. I intend on grooving on that for quite a while longer. Maybe straight up until the year 2021. Maybe I won't have any added sugar the rest of the year. You know, maybe I'll break that, but I do feel like I've been pretty successful in breaking that addiction, which is a good thing. Maybe even more successful than I was when I did the keto diet. Maybe because when I was doing that, I ate sugar still and like fruit, like not added processed sugar, but you know, still grams of sugar. And maybe now that I haven't had any sugar, added, natural, otherwise, in 26 days, maybe that's helped me detox from that. That's not to say that, you know, I would want to eat only meat going forward. I think on the first, I'm definitely gonna get back into fruits and vegetables and milk and cheese, and probably enjoy doing so. Carbs, maybe I'll try to stick off of for a while. So yeah, I say the carnivore diet I have, you know, I'm down 14 pounds now, not down 16 pounds as I was a few days ago, but yeah, down 14 pounds. I've done a good job sugar detoxing. I would say I feel pretty good, except for the aforementioned issues that carnivore diet aficionados on the internet claim actually aren't issues, but I'll argue kind of are. I'll just argue they kind of are. But yeah, so to some extent, I guess the aspects of it have worked, but I don't know if I'm too positive on it because yeah, I just so constipated, just crazy constipated, man. I know the internet said the carnivore diet fans, followers, adherents claim it's not constipation, but I don't know. I'm getting some signals from my gut that it kind of is. So I don't know. There's just a certain number of pounds of food that it's not good to have like in you, like just stuck in you at one time. I feel like that's safe to say, isn't it? That's not too medically controversial a statement. And yeah, the carnivore diet is kind of, it's getting me over that comfortable number of pounds of food to have stored in your abdomen at any one time. So I don't know. I got some issues. We'll just say that. And the internet backs me up that this is regular. They claim it's not that it's ordinary. It's not regular. It's not regular at all. But ordinary on the carnivore diet, they claim. But I don't know. Not a crazy huge fan of it personally. It's not even the food monotony. I've been able to deal with that. Not that I'm not looking forward to biting into a juicy apple in the first, having some of the apricots that are growing here around my town, having some salad. Maybe I'll just get a big goddamn block of cheese and just bite right into it. Maybe I'll just eat cheese. I'll do keto and I'll become morbidly obese on the keto diet by eating like 3 pounds of cheese a day. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I've stuck with carnivore diet. Obviously, we're down now to the last 4 days, so obviously I'm going to finish the 30-day challenge at this point. I'm not going to come this far and ruin anything at this point. But yeah, it's got its mixed elements. We'll just say it's yeah, it clogs you up like a fucking cork jammed into a wine bottle, man. It does. It just the plumbing don't work. I think we evolved from the caveman days to want of vegetables and fiber in our diet since we were hunter-gatherer nomads roaming the plains hunting woolly mammoths and dinosaurs. Yeah, I added in that last part just to upset historians. I know there weren't dinosaurs and humans living together back then. There have always been. There still are. There's still dinosaurs in the forbidden parts of the world. I just know it. And maybe I should try to eat some of that. Eat some dino meat. Maybe that'll get things going. Get some ancient bacteria to just destroy my system. Then everything will come out. But maybe not even then. Yep, I've stuck with the carnivore diet rigidly, adherently, strictly, with nary a gram of food not allowed in the last 26 days. And I'll check in. I would assume that this will be the last vlog until the season finale, as it were, for the old 30-day carnivore challenge. So yeah, color this one another mixed opinion vlog, I think is safe to say, right? yeah, not strictly negative, because like I said, my weight is down pretty substantially from the first, you know, so in that sense, sure. But it has just some issues for me personally. Some people say it doesn't bother them. It does bother me. I'll just say that much. But alright, I'll catch y'all again real soon. Peace out. And it is done. 30-day carnivore challenge completed, in the bag. Well, I guess I shouldn't jump ahead of myself. It's 4 p.m. on June 30th, so maybe I'll go crazy in the next 8 hours and ruin everything. But I doubt it, because I've made it through 29 and a half days of consuming nothing but meat products and occasional butter and eggs. Chicken, steak, bacon, sausage. I think there was a little turkey, a little ham in the mix. And so plenty of eggs and some butter, and I did not cheat at all. It's all accomplished. It's all in the bag, and yeah, probably not something I'm ever gonna do again. And I'm looking forward to getting back to something more resembling dietary normalcy starting tomorrow. Really, probably I'll just start at midnight tonight, because I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not even looking forward to eating junk food. Just looking forward to like some goddamn fruit at this point. I'm all prepped. I got in my fridge right over there. I got some apples, some strawberries, some bananas ready to go. And I know in town here where I can actually pick some apricots for free. So I think I might go and do a little apricot picking tomorrow. Might be a fun little activity. But yeah, the 30-day carnivore challenge is functionally completed. It's close enough to completed that I feel I can comment on it and give some thoughts, positive and negative about it. It's been an interesting experience, just for me, in terms of learning kind of how this stuff affects you, how it affects your mind, how it affects your weight goals, how it affects your body. It's maybe been the most interesting kind of dietary experiment I've done, and I've tried a few others. I've tried extended water fasts and intermittent fasting and keto, and the opposite. I've tried to become morbidly obese as a joke before, but yeah, this has in some ways been the most interesting. Don't know if that necessarily implies or says the most successful, but it's been an experience in one way or another. But you know what, rather than just kind of rambling on nonsensically, since this is the season finale, oh, and sorry about the bright light back there, I know it's a little annoying, but I wanted to record this today on the 30th, and I don't know if I'll be able to get the opportunity once the sun has gone down. So, pardon my amateurish lighting on this obviously otherwise very professional endeavor. Really just a work of Martin Scorsese here with this vlog series. But yeah, let's just kind of go through. I just scribbled out a little, speaking professionalism, I just scribbled out a little list here of the pros and the cons of having gone through this little experiment over the last 30 days, and I'll as I get into that, I'll also throw up a little that was gross. I'll toss up a little before and after a profile picture of a little video I took of myself on the first, and one I just took a few minutes ago, so you can kind of compare and contrast, see 158 pounds at the beginning of the month, and now 30 days later 141 pounds. Yes, I did lose a few pounds in the last few days, despite, well, we'll get into it later, but yep, 17 pounds down in 30 days. So you want to just get the numerical tally of how the carnivore diet has worked out. There you go, 17 and 30. So anyway, on to the pros and cons list. Starting with the number 5 pro, and working from weakest to best. So this is the last one I do will be the biggest kind of pro of the carnivore diet. So starting with number 5, first off, save money on food. Now this maybe I should put an asterisk by asterisk. How do you pronounce it? 34 years, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Well, I never claimed this was an intelligent blog, but so this one could vary from person to person. The initial blog where I read about the 30-day carnivore challenge, he actually described it as he actually ended up spending more money on food throughout the 30 days, which I think because he was going and buying like nice steak and stuff all the time. If I went and bought nice steak and stuff all the time, then yeah, I'm sure I would have used quite a bit of more money too. But for me, I actually saved a ton of money. because I would just go out and buy 18 packs of eggs for $1.50, several 18 packs of eggs, and get those big ass mamba jumbo, like 5-pound rotisserie chickens from a Sam's Club, which is functionally the same as the ones from Costco. I believe they have the same suppliers. And as those chickens and eggs kind of formed the bulk of my diet over the last 29 and a half days, there were weeks when I spent, just enormously little, or I should say the opposite of enormously little, vanishingly little money on food. I'm talking, $10 on food for an entire week of, food consumption. It helps that I mostly just drank water during the whole time. But the paycheck, the wallet hasn't been hurting, for culinarily wise this month. I'll just say that. So yeah, that's one little bonus of it. But like I said, this can vary from person to person. If you want to get a ton of steak, literally the exact opposite could happen to you. And speaking of things where it might vary from person to person, for my number 4 pro on the 30-day carnivore challenge and the carnivore diet in general, I'll go for a streamlined diet, by which I mean both the decision of deciding what you're going to have any given meal, any given day, and also food preparation time. Now, I say this could vary from person to person because if you're someone who really wants to put an effort to, just really nicely prepare, just really sumptuous, well-cooked, well-seasoned, expert meals of meat and steak and fish, if that's what you're into, and chicken, maybe this wouldn't be the case. But for me, I spent this entire month put together, I probably spent less time cooking than I would in any given just week by itself. Probably because I'm, lazy and have a poor taste in food and, life in general. So I would mostly just use my microwave rather than my oven. I use the frying pan sometimes too because I'd cook stuff in butter. But a lot of the times my meal preparation was just like that. Like I'd, a full day, like 5 minutes of meal prep, so that made things pretty simple. I never had to think too much about what to eat. I would usually a lot of days I would just do chicken. I would have cold chicken in the day and call that my lunch, and hot chicken at night and call that my dinner. What can I say? The rotisserie chicken is pretty well seasoned already. Just toss a little herbes de Provence, a little hot sauce, a little garlic powder on there. You're pretty good to go. But I did kind of try out some scrambled egg recipes this month that were fun. In Ian Fleming, his short story collection, Octopussy and the Living Daylights, in the short story 007 in New York, he actually includes a full recipe for scrambled eggs that are the literary character of James Bond's favorite scrambled eggs. And it's actually a no milk recipe, so it was perfect. It's just like a shitload of butter in a pan, kind of melted, and then you put just a whole bunch of eggs in. And part of the carnivore diet is eat whatever amount of food you want. So I would just do like 10 eggs in one meal. It's like 10 scrambled eggs. You put them in with the melted butter and you stir continuously over like a very low heat, It takes a little while longer, but it's not like a difficult, you just stand over the stove like an idiot, just kind of swirling your liquidy eggs around for a little while. And eventually it kind of starts to firm up just a touch, and you want to take them out if you want to do it James Bond style when they're still relatively moist. You don't want no dry scrambled eggs. And you stir a little more butter in, salt and pepper well, and it forms almost something, it's more like a custard than like the usual American style scrambled eggs, like a very thick stew. Like you could almost eat it with like a spoon rather than a fork. So I've been doing that for the last couple weeks and kind of having fun with that. It would probably taste great on toast, but I'm an idiot, so I'm still gonna stick with the keto diet for a while now, so I can't try it on toast yet, but one day I will, and I think it should be pretty good. Apparently it's James Bond's favorite food, so he's a classy man. So those kind of top 2 pros, or I guess bottom 2, number 5 and number 4 pros, more kind of personalized to me. The saving money and the streamlined diet and cooking process, it could be different for other people. But so let's move on to number 3. The number 3 pro of the 30-day carnivore challenge for me has been rarely being hungry, and a lot of that is just literally because of the amount of food. You can eat whatever amount you want on the carnivore diet, provided you stay within the allowed food groups. So because of that, you know, you eat enough that you're rarely hungry. But even on top of that, I kind of feel like your body uses the meat like in a more efficient way than it might use carbs, for example, or even fiber, even fruits and vegetables. So you're pretty much always in kind of a good state of your body having the fuel it needs. It's difficult to describe really unless you've done it for a while. It's almost like it's a different sensation in the way that your hunger and fullness cues have probably worked your whole life if you've never done anything like that. It's like, you know, and there's a counter to this about your fullness cues also that I'll talk about in the con section. But pros wise, yeah, I never was like, oh man, I'm starving. You know, not in the morning, not at midday, not in the evening. You know, at a certain point, like a little fuel gauge will go off in your brain that's like, hey, I require fueling now. Let's go grab something. But you know, I never felt like a uncomfortable, like a stomach rumbling type feeling that you might feel when you're doing like intermittent fasting or something like that. So in that way, it kind of has a positive mental effect, a positive physical effect, and helps you not, you know, have too much of a snacking urge. That was never really an issue for me in all 29 and a half days. I never was like, oh man, I could really go for a bag of potato chips or some popcorn or you know, some goddamn cookies or something, you know, even worse than that. Yeah, it was pretty much under control. I never really had too much of a sensation of hunger. I always felt pretty good on that level. And with that, let's go on to the number 2 benefit of the carnivore diet. And this one is kind of the most obvious part of anything that includes the word diet, is a fairly rapid weight loss, especially in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, I talked 17 pounds, 158 to 141 in 30 days, which is, you know, not bad. I mean, I've heard people set their weight loss goals on a diet as like 2 pounds a month. So, you know, you can do better than that. But, you know, I'm not saying anyone needs to try to do 17 pounds a month either, especially if they're already within the healthy BMI. That's a little, but you know, yeah, it did work. And like I said, I didn't do any particularly extreme exercises. I tried lifting a little weight. Like I made some progress there. Nothing remarkable. Anyone who takes weight seriously at all would kick my ass in arm wrestling, no problem. But yeah, you know, I every 2, 3, 4 days I do like, you know, 20 minutes of weights. Took some walks. I tried doing some jump roping. Man, that was hard. That kind of kicked my ass. I feel like if I ever want to get in like legitimately like amazing shape, I think jump roping is actually going to be my main like workout, because it's so, now I understand why in the montage in Creed they were just doing jump roping, because man, that's tricky stuff. But I tried a little of that, but nothing too extreme. You know, I not particularly hardcore exerciser because I'm too lazy. So yeah, with only a modest amount of simple exercise, mostly walking, and just sticking to this diet and eating whatever amount I wanted. I mean, I was eating half of fucking rotisserie chicken in one sitting. I got 17 pounds down in 30 days. It did, well, we'll get into this later. It did slow, but I imagine that if I stuck with this for, you know, a second month, I doubt I would lose 17, but you know, it could be 10 pretty easily. I imagine if someone, you know, was like morbidly obese and they stuck with this for 6 months, I bet they could probably cut their body weight in half. So yeah, in that case, in the diet sense of the word diet, do you lose weight on the carnivore diet, the 30-day carnivore challenge? The answer is yes. So that's number 2. Weight loss does occur. And I wasn't like eating to lose weight per se. I was eating to lose weight in that I was restricting the types of food, but I just, you know, like I said, I was eating 10 eggs with lots of butter, half a chicken, you know, a 2-pound chunk of steak, and yeah, weight loss occurred, you know, pretty smoothly at first. And so yeah, the diet part does work. And speaking of diet, we will move on to the number 1 pro of the 30-day carnivore challenge, in my opinion, which is the sugar detox. I feel like I've been, you know, like I'll talk about in the con section in regards to food monotony. You know, I'm not going to say like I can live the rest of my life eating only, you know, unseasoned chicken breast. I am above these trivial human desires of food. No, not at all. Certainly, if you put a bowl of Cheez-Its in front of me right now, it would be very hard for me to not consume them. But that said, I feel like I've been very, very successful in detaching myself from the desire, the need for sugar, which is good because I think that I probably was a sugar addict. I probably would have denied that, you know, at any point in the last few years up through last May of a few weeks ago if you asked me. But yeah, I just, there were times when I was like, I really, really, really shouldn't drive to the store and get Bluebell ice cream. I shouldn't spend that money. I shouldn't take the time to do that. I should not put 2,000 calories of dairy and sugar in my body. And I did it anyway because I was addicted. But I've not had the urge to do that in a few weeks. And sometimes I would do that, you know, in like subsequent days, you know, like back-to-back days. So that's been a very good benefit for me personally. I feel like I've really done a good job detaching myself from the need for sugar. I've been around donuts and pastries and cookies and cake in, you know, the last days, like at work and stuff, and I've just skimmed right over it. I haven't had any urge to grab any of it. I've been totally chill. The stuff I do have the urge to grab is you know, like if there's like pasta or mac and cheese or pizza or something like that, you know. So that's why I'm not claiming that I've carb detoxed, because I don't believe carb detoxing is a thing, because it's kind of a fundamental, you know, group of food. But sugar detox, I think I've done a pretty good job at it, and I think I'm not really concerned about, you know, not being able to stick with that going forward. So to me, that is the #1 benefit of the 30-day carnivore challenge, personally, is the sugar detox. But that's not to say that all is well in the 30-day carnivore challenge land, because now we're going to get into the top 5 cons, the top 5 negatives, and you know, to some extent, I will admit, and we'll kind of sum up at the end, maybe these negatives kind of outweigh the positives, but let's go into it just kind of one at a time. Now, a few of these will be kind of the inverse of the positives we talked about, and the first one, number 5, the not quite as bad con, but a little bit of an issue, is never quite feel fully full. Now, I do not have a PhD or a doctorate in human biology, so don't you know, treat me as the final source on this, but I have a theory about why this is, which is that meat is denser than like bread, than carb products. So it maybe sits in the bottom of your stomach a little more, so you feel a little more full. But it only sits at the bottom, so you don't quite get the same full tummy feeling as you might get with carbs, with fruit and vegetable, because it's a little denser in your stomach. So you hit a point of, I no longer require to eat. You know, I don't want to eat anymore. I've had enough chicken, I've had enough steak, I've had enough eggs, I've had enough bacon, I've had enough ham, probably I've had enough fish, you've had the fish, but you know, there's something psychological about that, oh yeah, that hit the spot feeling when you finish off a nice plate of pasta or something, or even like meat with, you know, carbs on the side, like potatoes or bread or whatever. On the carnivore diet, I feel like I never quite got that. And, you know, at a certain point, it does kind of not feeling, you know, like I said, you don't feel hungry particularly, which is good. There, you know, 99% of the humans who have ever lived from the caveman days up through the early 1900s would probably envy the not having to feel hungry part of it. So I'm not like, you know, woe is me here, but, you know, if you're someone who lives in, you know, the modern day first world, then, you probably enjoy the feeling of feeling full, you know, relatively frequently, probably too frequently if you're an American. And yeah, I have not really gotten that feeling in 30 days. There was one night when I had like some chicken wings without, you know, ranch like I usually have, obviously, but had some chicken wings, and then like I think I had like some steak with it as well, and like some other crap. You know, I kind of approached the full feeling that night, and I was like, oh, this is nice to kind of feel again. But other than that, you never quite, it's just something's missing. Something's not there when you don't have anything besides meat in your stomach, I find. It's hard, again, it's hard to describe if you haven't felt it, but you know, try a carnivore diet and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's something's not quite there. It's something's not complete. So let's move on to con number 4 of the 30-day carnivore challenge for me. And that would be another one of the ones that's an inverse from a pro, is that the weight loss slowed dramatically after a little while, after after a couple weeks. Like if you go back and look at the old vlogs I did, I talked about how the weight loss was pretty rapid for first couple weeks, but then it slowed quite a bit. Like I was losing like 7 pounds between vlogs, 5 pounds, then I was losing like 1 pound between vlogs. At one point I gained 2 pounds between vlogs, right? So and then I did lose a little right at the end, just the last few days. I went from 144 to 141. So at a certain point I did lose a little bit again, but at a certain point that's why I wonder what would have happened going into month 2 and so on, which I'm not gonna do. No, this is gonna be done in a few hours when I hit midnight, but I wonder if I would have kept going, or if it would have slowed more, or what would have happened. But so that's just, if you're ever thinking about doing the carnivore diet, carnivore challenge, that's something to be cautious of, is that the weight loss might kind of slow down after a couple weeks. And number 3 con of the carnivore challenge, this is a little bit of a funny one. This isn't so much about food or your own weight or body or what. It's social awkwardness. It's you don't even think about it necessarily, but there are so many times I've had to turn down food, both in the sense of no, at this meal you're cooking for me, I'll just take the meat. Nope, none of the sides you took time to nicely prepare. I can't have any of that. It's just people offering you, hey, you want a slice of pizza? Hey, you want some of these chips? Hey, you want some of this? You want some of that? Like someone at one point made me a little Egg McMuffin thing, and I just had to be like, sorry, I can't have any of that, thanks though. And so it's this kind of ongoing, you'd be surprised how much even for an introvert like me, who barely hangs out with people outside of my wife, I still kept encountering these situations. I imagine for an extroverted person it would probably be 10 times worse. And just I don't know, sometimes you don't want to explain like your weird diet thing to people act like, I don't know, it's just a little weird, kind of awkward situations. So that's my number 3 con. Now let's get back into more strictly kind of food related stuff with the number 2 con, and that is just probably the most obvious one, is food monotony. And this one is fairly self-explanatory. You can probably, I've said before in this vlog that there's things that it's hard to quite know what I'm talking about if you've never experienced it yourself. That's one I'm sure you can imagine. There are hundreds of foods out there. I've had about a half dozen of them in the last 30 days. So at a certain point, I'm looking forward to something else. I'm not even saying like looking forward to, tearing into a giant bowl of mac and cheese and like milkshakes and pizza and that kind of stuff. Just having literally a salad, just some iceberg romaine lettuce, a little chicken in there, some onions, tomatoes, like maybe a sprinkle of cheese, some ranch or some, Italian dressing. Like even that sounds just incredibly delicious to me at the moment. It's just absolutely, like, it might as well be a friggin' like birthday cake. That sounds so good to me right now, which is okay because I'm going to be allowed to have that in just a few hours, and that's cool. But I can imagine if you were literally trying to do the carnivore diet for like as a lifestyle, right? As like for months, for years, I can imagine it being awful. Just the sheer food monotony, because people take too much pleasure in food, which is why the state of national health is where it is. But that's not to say you shouldn't take some pleasure in food. So that's the kind of the obvious one, is that food monotony. Number 2 con with a bullet, but not the worst thing about doing the carnivore diet or the 30-day carnivore challenge. You know where this is going. The constipation on the carnivore diet is total, complete, all-consuming, terrible, horrific, like nothing I have ever experienced before, ever. In any circumstances, no matter what else was going on in my lifestyle or diet in my 34 years on this planet, I have never had more trouble taking a good solid shit, which is something that it doesn't sound like that big a deal, but when your plumbing stops to this degree, it's surprisingly psychologically draining and physically uncomfortable. I haven't taken a what could be considered a good shit in over 2 weeks now. There's been occasional incidences where a bit of slime kind of oozed out. I know it's too graphic, but you know, if you're thinking about going on a diet, then you should probably know these things going in. Yeah, in the last 29 days, I've taken about, I don't know, what would we say, 4 shits. Almost all of them in the first half of the month, in the first 14, 15 days. In the last 14 days, nope, it just, nothing happens down there. Nothing. Not even any gaseous, extractions. Not even any farting. It's like a cork has been jammed into the wine bottle that is your guts, and it's a total shutdown. Sources online will claim that this is normal on this diet and nothing to be concerned about, as your body is using the fuel you're putting into it more efficiently. I don't doubt that there is some truth in this, but I also do doubt that that is the whole truth, because there is a level of discomfort that is plain and undeniable, and just all around not good. Yeah, this is by far the biggest issue with the carnivore diet for me, and honestly the main thing. Like everything else I've said, I could roll with and continue trying to do this for a second month. Maybe do kind of a lazier carnivore diet where I bring in other animal products like cheese and milk. But I feel a need to begin eating at least vegetables and fiber again to get my body doing the things that a human body is supposed to do again. All right. Yeah, I can't deal with this level of shutdown of these kind of basic biological systems. I cannot deal with it, and if it was just everything else, maybe I could do a second month or even a third month of this. I cannot do any more of this considering this, and I feel like anyone considering this diet should be aware of this. You will stop shitting, period. So that about wrap up the 30-day carnivore challenge for me. I mean, well, I've been recording for a little while here, so not within 8 hours, within about 7.5 hours now, I will happily call this little chapter of my life a wrap. But yeah, but despite my negativity about certain aspects, I will say I also had positive things to say, including just plain old weight loss. So yeah, in that sense, do I think that this fits the category of fad diet? And actually, this is kind of getting into a bigger topic that I could do a whole separate vlog on. I don't really like the phrase fad diet. It's almost always used by weirdos with with an unhealthy agenda, promoting obesity, or that's a fad diet. Here's the thing, is that there can be a diet that you do that's a fad diet that you don't intend on maintaining for literally your whole life, but you can do it for a while to get some weight off and get healthier. Like if a morbidly obese person eats 1,000-calorie diet for several months and reaches a healthy weight, and then increases their calorie intake back to 2,000 and maintains that healthy weight going forward for the rest of their life. Did they do a fad diet because they didn't intend on eating 1,000 calories a day forever? No. And similar, I did keto before and lost about 20 to 30 pounds on it, and I haven't put on that weight since. So did I do a fad diet because I didn't stay on keto? So I mean, with all that said, maybe the carnivore diet does fit that category, a category I don't really like, the fad diet category, because yeah, maybe I won't be able to, maybe it's not maintainable. Maybe I'll even put on, some of the weight I got down to. Maybe 141 won't stick to it. So I don't know, because there's just the whole constipation thing. It's just too much of an issue for me to easily overlook as like a little side effect. It's a pretty big side effect. It was a bit debilitating, to be honest. But so maybe as someone who doesn't like the fad diet designation, maybe the carnivore diet is one. So I don't know. So overall, what do I got to give it a rating? I don't know. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I don't know, a 7 out of 10. I did lose weight on it. I imagine that if I stuck on it, I would continue to lose weight. But yeah, I want to eat some fruits and vegetables and cheese and milk again, and I want to take a shit again. So I can't stick with it going forward. I will be calling it a wrap at midnight tonight, but it's been an interesting experience, and I'm not, negative on the fact that I tried it. I think it's, a neat thing that I gave a shot to, and I'm proud of myself for accomplishing it. No, I'm not. There's nothing to be proud of. I just said I stuffed my face with chicken and eggs. It's not an accomplishment. But yeah, so that about be a wrap on the 30-day carnivore challenge. Although maybe I'll put out one last little bonus video in just a few hours as it truly wraps up. But at least for now, June 30th, 30-day carnivore challenge. We'll call that functionally complete, close enough to complete. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you follow any of the previous vlogs, if you haven't, go back and check them out if you want. But otherwise, I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. So, you're tuning in with me right now for a monumentous occasion of sorts. It is currently about 80 seconds, 75 seconds before midnight, at which time we will transition from June 30th to July 1st, officially marking the end of my 30-day carnivore challenge, a period of time in which, for 30 days, I have eaten nothing except the basic animal products, some chicken mostly, also some steak, some bacon, some pork, some ham, some sausage. Didn't really have fish because I'm not a fish person. Oh, and eggs, of course, boiled, fried, and scrambled. 40 seconds to go. But I have not consumed a vegetable, nor fruit, nor carb, bread, cereal, pasta, etc., sugar, fried foods, for 30 days now. But that's about to end. Now, I would very much like to get in on some salad, cheese, strawberries, peaches, etc., and I will tomorrow. I will pig out indeed. I'll probably maintain keto, but nonetheless eat over my limit. But for now, and the time is upon us. It is now July 1st, 2020, and I have maintained the carnivore diet for 30 days. Let us break it together with this delicious golden red apple, whatever you call it. I don't know my harvest names, but I do know that I haven't had a delicious apple in over a month. So let's do this. Oh man. Oh man, that's good. Oh man. Like I said, I'm gonna stay off sugar for maybe a few more months. That is added sugar, processed sugar, found in cake, candy, chocolate, ice cream, donuts, etc. But natural sugar, when you haven't had it in a month, man, that is sweet. You never really understand why they call fruit nature's candy until you haven't had any in a month. Oh, then it starts to make sense. Oh man. It's gonna be hard to not have another one right away, man. Good God, that's good. Oh man, I shouldn't have thought of the fact that I have a box of strawberries in the fridge right now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm officially not Carno anymore, as you can see. But 30 Days of Carno has trained me to appreciate the simple things in life. Mm. Mm-mm. Damn, that's good. Mm. That was fucking good, man. That was everything I hoped for. I don't know if it was worth the wait, but it was appreciated after the wait. Now, I'm not gonna, live vlog all my picking out on fruit and vegetables and cheese tomorrow, but rest assured it shall happen. Well, I'm sure I'll gain all the weight back, but, 30-day carnivore challenge. I did it. Now it's over, and I'm glad I did it, but perhaps I'm even gladder that it's over. Alright. Y'all have a good night. Take it easy.